Hello everyone, my name is GoddessB2024 and welcome back to another video where today I am going to be reading some of the comments you guys left on my video that I posted 7 days ago. Of course, by the title of the video, that we're going to be looking at that has comments is Jakks Pacific ruined Sonic action figures for me. And the reason why I made this video, long story short, is because Jakks Pacific mainly screwed up with their action figures. And not just their action figures in general, just the Sonic action figures. And I've gotten a lot of people on this particular video who well, for one, gave their opinion, which I can respect, but also gave me a lot of insight that I felt was, in a way, not entirely required because of the fact of it being revolving around my personal opinion, in which I think as an individual and as a human being it should be respected in many ways, and in my opinion you should be taken into accountability for knowing that someone feels a certain way about a certain product. But anyway, let's just look at some of the comments that were presented here. The first one is by DJP18, and it says, "Can I tell you something?" Well, actually, let me first read more of it. It says, "Can I tell you something? Why I'm glad they don't have elbow articulation, because I used to have a Jazzwares action figure, and I always had trouble with elbow joints from snapping and the joint being super loose, but where it gets annoying as hell when trying to keep it in a pose. With Jakks, however, I'm really satisfied with the Sonic figures they have released so far. They took a pain away from loose elbow joints that I had with Jazzwares. Not only that, I always wanted Jakks Pacific to have the Sonic license for a long time since I've seen the Mario figures they had. It was a dream come true. I love how Jakks Pacific hides the articulation points with the legs, because Jazzwares lag that, and the figure looked like they were beefed up. Jakks Pacific made the Sonic figures look more video game accurate. If you want an elbow jointed, well, that last one, or the last two sentences is just mainly just him saying, if I wanted a figure with elbow articulation by Jakks, then get a 6-inch collector's edition of Sonic the Hedgehog." And of course, DJP18, for one, as I said in the comments, I respect your opinion, but in my eyes, the lack of articulation or elbow articulation with Sonic figures, it's like a key component with almost every figure. And I can understand why you said what you said, saying that you had an issue with Jazzwares figures with the elbow articulation, and I can understand why, because not all action figures, either if it's from NECA, Jazzwares, Jakks Pacific, Hasbro, not all of them are going to be perfect. Not all of them are going to be perfect. They all have a lack of articulation. Some articulation is too stiff. Some of it's too loose. Some of it doesn't even exist. And I understand that. But in my opinion, and this is me being honest, this is 2022. I mean, we have the technology to improve stuff on our own. Like, if someone wants to make this is just an example here. Like, if someone wants to make a helmet on their own of Iron Man, based on their own design, based on what they want it to be, with their own set of technology to make the mask go up and down with LED lights for the eyes, they can do it on their own with a 3D printer. And so in my eyes, with Jakks Pacific and Jazzwares, well, Jazzwares, yes, I can understand it, because it's an older brand that started off making Sonic figures in the past with the 3-inch Sonic figures with elbow articulation, knee articulation, waist movement, and all of that. But like I was saying before, like, it's, my mind going blank right now. Let me try and calm down for a minute. Not every action figure is meant to be perfect. It's like it's like a bouquet of flowers. Some are good, some are bad, some are just slowly rising to the occasion. Some are slowly growing to be perfect. Some are growing to be weak. Like it's also like a person. Not every person is perfect. Some have their defects. Some have their effects that make them better. Some have qualities that make them look different. Some people have qualities that make them look unique. Like not everything. And this is back to the figure issue. Um, Not every action figure is perfect because of just the design itself. Because I know why you're saying because you had a problem because of the loose articulation, the elbow joints from snapping off or being too loose. I can understand that, but that's like a number one issue for almost every action figure company. Like NECA, and this is an example from me personally. In the past, I had an old NECA Falconer Predator from the Predators movie, and I enjoyed it. I had it. I played with it. I had it in my room when I used to live back in Naples. But the only problem is that when I was playing with it in my grandpa's um, truck, is that the leg snapped off right at the joint, and so I was kind of upset. But I still kept it. I still messed around with it, even though over time it started getting older and it started losing its quality. Like I've had a lot of figures lose a lot of defects. Like I had an old Amazing Spider-Man superposable figure that had a joint that was broken. I tried fixing it on my own. I couldn't fix it, so I had to get rid of it and get a new one. And like I said before, the Falconer Predator. I had the figure. The knee joint broke off, but I still kept it. And of course now I can't find it because it's somewhere in my grandmother's house buried under a whole bunch of other stuff. But like you can't expect for articulation to be perfect with figures. Like I said before, it can be either too loose, too tight, it can run the risk of being snapped off. Like at some point you can't just deviate around joints being too loose, too tight, or running the risk of being snapped off because that's like a general problem for every action figure. Even if it's like a 10 like a 1 foot scale action figure or a collectible. Like for example, if there's like the Spider-Man figure from Spider-Man 2 that was like what like 12 like a foot tall or so. Like I've seen people selling it on eBay and it's like missing a foot or it's missing like one of the few fingers. Like I'm not saying that it's still perfect, but like even if it's losing one piece of articulation, even if it's snapped off or if it's loose or too tight, there are ways of fixing it. You just have to find a way to make it better. And so that's just my perspective of the articulation being too loose, too tight, or snapping off. Because I understand from your perspective, it was an issue for you because you were running through the problem of it snapping off, of it being loose, and I understand that. But that's like a major problem with every action figure, and for Jakks Pacific to eliminate it by just not adding the newer sources of articulation like they did with the newer brand of Sonic figures for Sonic the Hedgehog 2, it's kind of proving the idea of them not caring more about the modern appearance and focusing more on the movie variation. And they make the same type of character, but just for different franchises. Like they make the modern appearances for like the video game lovers, but yet for those who love the movie, they add a bit more to it. Like they're the same character, but one has better qualities than the other, and that's what's that's why I made that video because of that particular reason. But let's see what other comments. Of course, there's my comment saying, I respect your opinion, but in my eyes, the lack of elbow articulation with Sonic figures by Jakks Pacific is what makes it more of a statue than an action figure. I said that mainly because of the fact it's primarily true. Because with Jzwares, when they made their figures, they added as much articulation as possible. Even if it was just a 3-inch figure, they added every bit of articulation to make it less and less like a statue. But with Jakks Pacific, they just cut out 2 pieces of articulation that are pretty much essential to make make a figure enjoyable. And that's why I said more like a statue. And someone by the name of Hello Boy Hello said, "How is it a statue?" Of course, I just explained it. There are a lot of action figures that don't have articulation, so live with that. First of all, for saying to live with that, I've been having to live with that type of issue or that type of situation for quite a long time. And I don't really appreciate the fact that you just saying, "Oh, live with it." Like, I'm pretty sure a whole bunch of other people are just as upset with this particular problem as I am. I don't, but I'm not gonna just throw caution into the wind like that. But anyway, another one by Ebic Eric, or Ebic Eric, I don't know how to say that name. It says, have you touched a Jzwares figure that can break if you move a joint? Like I said before, it all depends on how the articulation is fashioned. Like I said before, articulation can be either too loose, too tight, or flimsy. Like, you can't just say that a Jzwares figure can break if you move a joint, because then you're just saying it from your one side perspective because you witnessed it. Like, I'm not saying that you're wrong that Jzwares figures can break if you move a joint, but like I said before, it all depends on like if the articulation is too tight or too loose. That's it. It's not just saying in general that they can break if you move a joint, because that's just being biased. So, and also to answer that one question, no, I have not held a Jzwares figure that I can recall. If I have, I'll try and remember when. But other than that, I most likely have not. But I really don't appreciate but I don't like the idea of you just saying they can break if you move a joint, because that's just being biased from a one side perspective. Boy Hello once again said, collector's edition figures. Am I a joke to you? This is a certified Jzwares Sonic fan. Okay, I don't know why he I don't know why he's saying, "Am I a joke to you?" Like, is he just saying it to this guy, or is he just saying it directly to me? Because for one, if he was saying it to this guy, then there would be a difference. But I'm guessing, I don't know. I'm not gonna answer that. And of course, Ebic Eric, I don't know how to say that, saying, "Bro, the figures aren't 13 plus. If you look at the figures, it says 3 plus." First of all, it's been a long time since I've had the packaging to my Sonic figure, so I really do not pay attention to the age, because for one, regardless if you're 3 years old or 20, you can still have the obligation of collecting it, and it should have an equal amount of quality. And plus, why would Jakks Pacific even make Sonic figures for 3-year-olds if, in my opinion, they don't, I'm not saying this in a negative way, but like, they don't know how to handle a figure delicately in any manner. But like, I understand that you're saying that it's not 13 plus, it's 3 plus, but I'm just saying, like, I don't think I would trust a 3-year-old with an action figure, regardless if it's a Sonic figure or not. And then Elizabeth Figueroa, or Figueroa, I don't know how I'm saying. I don't think I'm saying that last name right, but Anyway, it says, "Bro, that's crazy, but I don't remember asking." And then John follows up with saying, "I don't remember asking." You don't remember asking? I don't really, I really don't appreciate the idea of sarcasm with this. Like, I get it. You're saying you don't recall asking out of sarcasm just to be funny or something, but like, I'm just trying to give my general opinion here. Like, you don't have to be, you don't have to be like sarcastic like that just to say, oh, that's crazy. I don't remember asking. Like, that's kind of rude. Like, honestly, like that'd be like telling a 2-year-old saying, or that'd be like saying a 5-year-old walks up to you and it's your kid saying, "Oh, mom, look, I have straight A's in school," and then the mom is like, "I don't remember asking." Like, what kind of parent would say that to their own kid? I certainly wouldn't. Like, honestly, that's just kind of rude to say, "I don't remember asking," and for John to even follow up with it, it's like not even cool. And there's another one by Boy Hello. It says, "Imagine making a 23-minute long video talking about why Jakks Pacific is the worst company just because they didn't add elbow articulation SMH." And then Ebic Eric says, "He acts like Jay's Words is this perfect company with no issues and acts like Jakks Pacific has 1 point of articulation." And then Boy Hello ends it with saying, "I know, right." Firstly, to you just like making a joke out of me making like this whole video. First of all, I made this video just to give my opinion here, like just to give my general opinion about how I feel about a toy company, and for you to say, "Oh, imagine making a 23-minute long video talking about why Jakks Pacific is the worst company." First of all, I'm not saying that Jakks Pacific is the worst company ever, because there are numerous other companies that are worse that hit number one, the top three worst companies ever. And secondly, I never said that Jay's Wares is a perfect company with no issues. Let alone, I was not acting like Jay's Wares had no issues. I was just saying that for Sonic line figures, yes, some were bad, some were good, and and also, I'm not saying that Jakks Pacific figures have 1 point of articulation regardless. Like, should they improve upon their articulation? Yes, because there are more people that would incline on having the Jakks Pacific figures or Jay's Wares figures in their collection more than just giving it to their kids. And like I was saying before, I'm not saying Jakks Pacific is the worst company, but for them to be picky around giving one series of figures that revolves around the same character and then not give it to another set of figures that are again revolving around the same character, it's just dimensional pickiness. Well, not pickiness, but it's just dimensional, like, choosing. Like, they're choosing to give one set of figures something that something else is lacking, and it's giving us as consumers the idea of giving one set of figures that has something that we can admire having, whereas the other one is lacking it. Like I said before, I know I'm repeating myself over a dozen times because I have a really have a horrible memory, but like I'm not saying, like I said before, for like now a third time, I'm not saying Jakks Pacific is the worst company for making action figures, because I don't know. Because for one, I'm just saying, in my opinion, they should just improve upon the Sonic figures that they sell. Like the one that I have that I showed in that video, they should improve upon it instead of it just leaving it the way it is. I'm not saying it's horrible. I'm not saying it's the best, and I'm not saying Jazewares is the perfect company either, because Jazewares has a lot of things that they can fix too. But I'm not jumping to them because of just one, because it has quote unquote no issues. But I'm just saying, like, Jazewares has issues, and so does Jakks Pacific, and they both have their defects. But when it comes to a certain series of figures, Jazewares improves upon, shows more dedication to quality over quantity, whereas Jakks Pacific is more focused on quantity over quality, because they mainly focus on just the detailing of the figure and the accuracy from video game or movie, and they only give a quarter of the figures that are based on movies the articulation they need, whereas for Jazewares, they do almost a mirrored image of what it is, but with a different series, from what I know. But other than that, I'm not saying Jazewares is perfect. I'm not saying Jazewares is the worst. I'm not saying Jakks Pacific is the worst. I'm not saying Jakks Pacific is the best. I'm just saying each of them have their defects. Each of them have certain things to fix. And what I described in that video that I uploaded 7 days ago is what they should at least fix. Because I understand you guys as viewers. I understand you guys as viewers and also and also customers of Jakks Pacific and Jazewares and whatever other toy company that you guys buy from, if you do. I understand you guys have your own personal opinion, and I respect it. I respect it fully, and all I ask is for you guys just to respect my personal opinion about how I feel about a certain toy company. Because not everyone can always agree on a certain aspect. But like when it comes to something like saying this, like saying this, that's just kind of rude. Like mocking what I'm just talking, what I'm giving my opinion about, and then saying stuff like this to follow through with it, saying that you don't recall asking. Like, there are numerous things I would say I don't recall asking when people tell me something, but like I don't say to their face, or I don't put it in a comment section saying, "Oh, when did I ask?" or "Oh, I don't recall asking you for your opinion." Like I'm not that type of person to say that. But like for you guys to just like do stuff like this and this just because I gave my opinion about something, like come on now. Like all I was trying to do was just give my opinion about what I said in this video, and that's it. Like all I was just saying was that Jakks Pacific ruined Sonic the Hedgehog action figures for me personally. I'm not saying in general, I'm not saying globally, I'm not saying universally. I'm just saying in my opinion. I'm just saying personally, Jakks Pacific ruined Sonic figures for me. Will it still be a attention for me to buy certain figures to modify them for my own reasons? Most likely. Am I gonna choose a Jazewares figure over a Jakks Pacific figure? Most likely, but I'm not gonna say that Jazewares is better than Jakks Pacific because I was only talking about a certain line of figures associated with that company. That's all I was just talking about one series over the dozens and dozens of series that Jakks Pacific has under their line and under their name. That's all I was just talking about. And like I said before, I really don't appreciate the fact of you guys like saying I don't remember asking, I don't recall asking, or mocking like the content I do, because, or let alone saying like, oh, I was acting like Jazewares was a perfect company. Like I never once said that they were. I never once said that that Jack specific figures are horrible. Because I was only talking about that one line of figures. I was talking about mainly just the Sonic figures that they make. And with Jay's Wares, it's the same thing. Like, I was only talking about just the Sonic figures that they make. But that's like the one thing I was talking about. And that was it. So, hopefully, this just gets buried, because I'm starting to consider on just removing this video just because of it, because of the negativity. Even though it's like just 5 comments, well, 3 replies and 2 and 3 comments, but whatever. But I'm starting to consider on just removing this particular video, because if this is like the type of backlash I'm gonna get from my viewers, even if it's someone who's just joining into who's just seeing my content for the first time, like, if this is the type of backlash I'm gonna be getting, then I'm just gonna delete this particular video, because I don't need that type of like negativity or mocking that type of mocking behavior from my viewers. Like, if you're trying to be funny, it's not funny. If you're just trying to give your general opinion about something, I can respect that. If you're trying to say something that I may not have been aware about, that's fine. But if you're just trying to say something like trying to mock what I put in my videos, like this, and then, or saying something like this, that's where I'm gonna draw the line at. That's where I'm gonna draw the line at, and that's that. So, I hope you guys understand in this video why I posted this video. And if you guys haven't seen this video, then I guess you guys can go and watch it. I really don't know anymore. I feel like just deleting the video right now, since I feel like I just wasted my time in making that. Just like I wasted my own time making this particular video that I'm gonna be uploading soon today. But I'm still gonna say it. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys can understand my point of view and understand where I was coming from with this video and why I uploaded this particular video. And at least understand that with every person's point of view, there shouldn't be a fallback to it, to where people just give out negative commentary just because of how they perceive the video or perceive someone's opinion to be. Because that's not how I wanted it to be at all. That's not how I wanted it to be. That's not what I wanted this channel to be at all. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna upload this video, but I don't know. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, and you guys understand my point of view, then hit the like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and you know what? Since I'm still in somewhat of a positive mood, I'm gonna be. Here's a bit of a shout out to DJ P18 for actually giving a bit of insight as to his point of view and some of the figures that may change my opinion about Jack specific. Because for one, I have tried looking up this particular brand, and I don't know if there are some that are available today, but I will be doing a bit more research on that. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video. And heck, maybe in the next video, I'll probably go through the comments that you guys put on my homemade withered Bonnie mask, because that's one of the few videos that has a lot of views. But I'll see you guys in the next video.